What's the connection between the 2026 Winter Olympics featuring inspirational and thoughtful American athletes and whiny toadies of American baseball players who need to have their diapers changed? Come on, let's dig in. The uproar that bellowed out of American sporting bowels over the Winter Olympics was to be expected. After all, anytime somebody dares to bring up sports and good old-fashioned American patriotism in the same sentence, there's bound to be someone shouting back about the flag, the colors that don't run, and all that. Well, those colors may not run, save for being chased or doing the chasing, but they sure as hell can act like toddlers who haven't undergone a sufficient diaper change in a few hours, and that's where the often misguided and politically biased screeching about sportsmanship rolls into this picture. Stay with me. At the 2026 Winter Olympics, certain factions in America all enraged about how some of the athletes failed to take a knee. Oh wait, maybe I should think of a better analogy, as the mere mention of that phrase will engender more screeching and screaming about moments hawked up by certain groups to be about something other than what it was all about in the first place. We were bombarded with certain American factions who verbally soiled all over some American athletes for supposedly taking a massive excremental movement on the red, white, and blue and disrespecting, one of those snap words that was created by those who have a zero grasp of the English language and couldn't for some reason pronounce the phrase not respected. Again, I digress. Disrespecting the country that afforded them the chance to take part in the Olympics by openly questioning and bringing attention to various crimes and misdemeanors going on back home. And the outcry, of course, was led by the individual who knows all about how to pump up America so long as America is shuffling enough money into certain pockets. What those Americans said was absolutely within their right to drop. They never once spit on America, rather bringing to the fore reasons why they weren't happy with what was going on back home, bringing attention to issues that they as athletes had every right to discuss, yet were hammered by lemmings as those who have no sportsmanship and must hate America. And they showed real appreciation for every moment of their lives, even when those damn figure skating judges pulled another fast one. A comparison which brings us to the recent World Baseball Classic.
Mark DeRosa has admitted he didn't just make a lineup mistake. He didn't even realize his team could be eliminated from Pool B play. Let's break down the quote that has every American baseball fan absolutely furious. Before the game against Italy, DeRosa went on MLB Network and explicitly stated, "Our tickets punched to the quarterfinals." He was so confident they had clinched, he rested superstars like Bryce Harper and Alex Bregman to get them off their feet. But here's the reality. The ticket was not punched. He fundamentally misread the WBC rulebook, and he treated a must-win game like a casual spring training exhibition. After the 8-6 loss to Italy, DeRosa was forced to face the music. His explanation? Quote, "I misspoke, completely misread the calculations." But fans are already digging deeper. The original clip of him saying they clinched was suspiciously scrubbed from MLB's platforms, only to reappear later under intense social media scrutiny.
Of course, this being the American pastime, the USA was going to run roughshod over anybody else and take their rightful place as the pillars of everything that is baseball because, damn it, this game is ours. And you can't have it, Latin America, Japan, Canada, you know who you are. So when Venezuela shocked the world, well, not really, because anybody who knows the game already understood how much incredible baseball talent was born there.
Daniel Palencia, 1-2-3. Roman Anthony, the final out on strikes. 3-2, Team Venezuela. They are your 2026 WBC champs.
Much of America took it in stride because, hey, frankly, that's kind of what losers often do. Never let them see you sweat, but also never let them see you disappointed and pissed off. But it's what happened there in Miami that slapped another realization of how petty and boorish we as Americans have a tendency to often be. The crowd for that final game was undoubtedly pro-Venezuela, which comes as no shock to those that understand their passion for the game, and the event being held in Miami, where Latin American countries make up the majority of the population in both past and current generations. But the real cooker here was when members of the American team, who finished second to Venezuela and were thus awarded silver medals, were seen removing the medals before they left the field in complete disgust over their failure, with words seeping out over the following days how some players either tossed their medals in the trash or were last seen using it as a coaster for their liquid sorrows. Good old American sportsmanship again at play. In the Winter Olympics, not a single American athlete showed anything but class and grace in winning and losing, appreciative of the chance they were handed, while these spoiled, egoed, trash-talking losers showed that side of America the apologists always seem to miss talking about. At least the baseball players weren't pointing out what's really wrong with America these days. No. Just pointing out what's wrong with the stuffed shirt whiners who believe they are entitled to winning every time out and were beaten fair and square by the better team.
Overall, they just didn't execute, and they got beat. And sometimes that happens in small sample baseball. But I would say that the offense last game and this game was just unacceptable in Miami here, given the caliber of players that USA had and the caliber of pitchers that they were facing. They just should have been better.
Bravo, Venezuela. Thanks for exposing what is often really wrong with sports and American attitudes, where too often we seem to believe that giving less than our best effort has to result in hitting home runs and winning automatically, when in reality, when it comes to sportsmanship, we've got a hell of a lot more whiffers than we do winners.